I am Nilay Rathod, and my topic for today is existentialism in waiting for Godot. These are my information. Uh, as we know that waiting for Godot is an absurd play, so that it is connected with theater of absurd. The term absurd is applied to a number of work in drama and prose fiction which have common view that the human condition is essentially absurd and that this condition can be adequately represented only in work of literature that are themselves absurd. This definition is in the literary glossary of literary terms in and critic Martin Esslin, which he coined the term in his 1960 essay, "The Theater of Absurd." The essay began on focusing on five playwrights: Samuel Beckett, Arthur Adamo, and Eugene Ionesco. Esslin defined the word absurd with the quotation from Ionesco that absurd is that which has not purpose or goal or objective. And according to Camus, absurd is a life lived solely for its sake in a universe which is no longer made sense because there was no God to resolve the contradictions. The French philosopher Camus, in his essay Myth of Sisyphus, described that human situation is meaningless and absurd. So, like in his essay Myth of Sisyphus, he's describing that Sisyphus is whatever is doing that moving his boulder to top of the mountain is worthless, is meaningless. There is no meaning behind that. But even though he is doing that, just like our protagonist in this play are doing, like walking there and there, cursing themselves, and so and so. In his introduction to the book, The Absurd Drama, Esslin wrote that the theater of absurd attack the comfortable certainties of religion or political orthodoxy. It aims to shock its audience out of complacency to bring it to face with harsh fact of human situation as this writer see it. But the challenge behind this message is anything but one despair. It is a challenge to accept that human condition as it is in all mystery and absurdity, and to bear it with dignity, nobly, responsibly, precisely because there are no solution to the mysteries of existence, because ultimately man is alone in this meaningless world. The shedding of easy solution of comforting illusions may be painful, but it leaves behind a sense of freedom and relief, and that is why, in a last resort, the theater of absurd does not provoke tears of despair, but a laughter of liberation. Waiting for Godot is, as we know, that Waiting for Godot is a comedy and tragedy both, but through with comedy it also comes with the air of despair. As Esslin described it as one of the successful of post-war theater. The play is filled with word plays, meaningless dialogues. The character easily forget everything that is Estragon, including their own identity. Their nonsensical lines, wordplay, and their action creates human. However, the humor is uncomfortably mixed with tragic content to make tragic comedy. Vladimir and Estragon talk about hanging themselves. Later in the play, Estragon refers to billions of others who have been killed. This type of performance were considered terrible in classical drama. All this can make a discomfort among audience, and they won't know how to react to the absurd mixture of comedy and tragedy. In Act 1, Vladimir says, "One daren't even laugh anymore," and his comment couldn't apply well to the audience of Bucket, because whatever they are doing, like action, or like they are talking about killing someone in the past, so and then like he's talking like no one is there to laugh, so everyone is laughing, obviously audience wouldn't understand how to laugh on that. Existentialism. According to Oxford Dictionary, existentialism is a theory that humans are free and responsible for their own actions in a world without meaning. More, Moreover, Soren Kierkegaard provides a broader definition where he defines that existentialism is a rejection of all purely abstract thinking, of a purely logical or scientific philosophy. In short, a rejection of absoluteness of reason. Both existentialism and absurdism agrees on the meaninglessness and purposelessness of the life. Existentialism is a way theists like it Kierkegaard view and deal with life's meaninglessness, where they believe one has a duty to find meaning and purpose or goal of life. On the other hand, absurdism is an atheist version of existentialism, which Beckett and Camus believe that one not only realizes the meaninglessness of night but continues to living it with the forsake of living. Jean-Paul Sartre believed that human beings live in constant anguish, not solely because life is miserable, but because we are condemned to be free. Sartre's theory, existentialism, states that existence precedes essence. That is only by existing and acting certain way to we where do we give meaning to our lives. In the play Waiting for Godot, the Vladimir and Estragon are waiting for someone known as Godot. Why does who does not make appearance throughout the play? So there are dialogues like Estragon is saying, "Let's go," but we can't. Estragon, why not? Because we are going. We are waiting for Godot. Oh, the play opens with them continuing with them waiting, continuing from them waiting, and they are tedious of waiting, but still they are waiting, and throughout the play they are waiting only. But why are they waiting? Maybe because they are waiting for that. But as we see in this dialogue, that what do we do now while waiting? So Estragon says, "What about hanging ourselves?" But they are not hanging themselves. In this conversation, we see that they are trying to hang themselves, but they are not doing. After the conversation, we can conclude that they they are not waiting for death, but they could be waiting for someone like God. They could be, if God is God, then they must be waiting for God because they have no existence. So they must be looking for salvation because, like, once they had some respect, they do not have anywhere to return. Like Vladimir says that hand in hand from top of the Eiffel Tower among the first, we were respectable in those days. Now it's too late. They wouldn't even let us up. So like in the past, they have some respect, but they do not have any respect now. So they are just hanging around waiting for someone, just like in the novel An Artist of the Floating World, where Masaji Ono had a respect in the before the war, but after the war he lost every respect. These are the works.
Yes, so questions, who are asking questions? You flap little bit down, you'll have to do. The flap of the laptop.
Neil, how did how did externalism begin? How did existentialism begin?
Okay, so I don't know exact what is the answer, but I can give you that before the 19th century, World War One and World War Two. Before that, everything was going in flow, we can say that. But after this world wars, the society and the world broke. So nobody knows what to do. So maybe perhaps because of that, everybody would try to find meaning in their lives.
My question is, how does waiting for Godot reflect on the existentialist view of human reality?
Okay, so existentialism view is that human being are trying to find meaning, their meaning in life, what they are born for, what are they going to do. So like waiting for Godot, Estragon and Vladimir are doing nothing but waiting. Like I said, they are, if they are waiting for God, they are seeking salvation, or they are seeking death. So they have no existence, so they must be seeking death.